Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for more of our Gencon Bonanza Explosion blog coverage. We are live at Gencon 2017. Thanks in part to our amazing sponsors, Medieval Lords, who has Black Souls coming out on Kickstarter in just a couple months, Bleem Games, who's got Dark Mages they're redoing, and Tasty Minstrel Games, who sponsors everything we do. Right now, I am very excited. This is one of the games that I was most anticipated to talk about. We actually talked about this at Origins, but I wasn't able to post a video or really talk about it. But now, we're going to get the lowdown on the Munchkin Collectible card game from Hunter and Steve Jackson Games. So take it away, what is this?
Alright, so Munchkin Collectible card game. This is a two-player Munchkin experience, a completely new game in the world of Munchkin, designed by Eric Lang and Kevin Wilson, so you probably know them from like Blood Rage, Descent, stuff like that. So the collectible card game is more specific to heroes. So you have 6 different classes of heroes you can be. There's a warrior, an elf, a bard, ranger, wizard, and cleric. These are the starter decks that we have here. Obviously, the not final components, in case I had to say that, but this is almost final art, pretty much. There might be some slight tweaks here and there, but this is really what you're looking at. And it is all fashioned around these decks. These are all the starter decks. They're going to come 2 to a box, so you'll get everything you need right out of the box. 2 40-card decks, and with 1 hero each in them. And what you're doing is you have your hero, and your hero kind of represents you, and they have a life total and they have a power that they use, usually by zapping. We zap in this game when you turn stuff sideways, because it's still a CCG parody. It is what it is. And your deck is composed of, you'll have some neutral cards, and you'll also have some cards for your class. So like the ranger has a bunch of ranger cards, and that's some neutral cards. Neutral cards can go in any deck. Ranger cards for the ranger himself. And there's a lot of different types. There's weapons. In this game, unlike in regular Munchkin where you're using weapons just to get a bonus, weapons are going to protect you against monsters. What you're trying to do is hire monsters, send them at your opponent, and attack them to reduce their life total to 0. Usually it's reducing it from 20 to 0. A monster will have different attack values, like the budget Sasquatch here. He's got a 4 damaging attack, he's got 3 life on him. So what you're doing though is, let's set up a pretend here, and say I'm the warrior. On a turn, you're not just straight up attacking. I'm actually having to recruit my monsters and pay for them with gold. So we have some tokens over here. These are just generic tokens, but in the game they'll have, you can use tokens for either life or gold wherever they're located. It's kind of what they do. So let's say I'm at level 2. Every round you're going to go up a level and gain gold for that. So you're kind of in that Munchkin theme. You're still going up a level and gaining gold every turn. But when I attack my opponent, I'm not just putting a monster out there and saying, here's a monster, here, take it. I'm actually doing this. And I'm putting an amount of gold on it equal to whatever I think, whatever my cost could be. This card doesn't have to be a monster. This could be anything. My opponent just has to decide if they want to take the attack, if they maybe want to commit a weapon to the fight, or if they want to run away. Like in Munchkin, you can run away, but it's not a die roll. You just flip it over, you get 1 runaway per turn. After that, it's called limping away, and it takes 2 damage, and you can still get away, but you have to take 2 damage just to do it. So you can get away from fights, but it hurts you, essentially. So let's say my opponent had a weapon. If I can find a weapon. This is why I stack decks normally. I didn't do it this time. Oh, these are all good monsters, though. Oh, there we go. The 11-foot pole, a classic. So the 11-foot pole, they could say, okay, I'm going to commit the 11-foot pole here. When you commit a weapon, you zap it. So that weapon's used up for the round. Now, if I just flip once they've committed, I flip this monster, and there's the drop bear. So in this case, the weapon was able to beat the monster, and you might take a little damage because it's got a 3 power, and the weapon only blocks 1 damage. However, maybe I had done this and flipped over a spell. All that would do would mean he wastes his weapon on a spell. The spell goes over into what's called the stash, and I get my gold back to use later in the turn. So you can bluff people out of their weapons, you can bluff people and make them waste runaway tokens and get free runaways, so you can use any card in your hand for pretty much anything.
And I noticed that drop bear, that actually had the stipulation where you had to physically drop it.
So let's do the drop bear. So drop bear does 3 damage, so that's how much damage, but he also has the ability to drop it from a meter up in the air to see if they can hit the hero. So let's see what we can do. That's it. Bingo, 2 extra damage. So if we're able to get an attack off like that, bam, 5 damage in there. And there's a lot of fun stuff like that. It is still, again, we're Munchkin. Munchkin was originally a parody of RPGs. The Munchkin collectible card game is a parody of collectible card games. It still is a collectible card game itself, though. We have randomized booster packs, 12 cards per pack. And of course the star decks, though, it's meant you can get into it really quickly. The star decks are going to be a really easy entry point, $24.95 for 2 decks. The decks are complete decks. There's not like one of these cards. It's like 2 of every card. You get a lot of stuff there. You get a hero. You and your friend can play. But then if you want to customize it from there, tons of more options. We have around 300 cards in the first set. The second set will be coming. The first set will be out in February 2018. I can finally have a date to it, which is nice. So that'll be out in the near future. We just approved almost everything right before Gencon, so pretty much we're getting back from Gencon, hitting the go to print button, and it'll be on its way at that point. Yeah, sorry.
So you said this is 1 versus 1. Will there be some rules they can fidget around with, make it 2v2 or anything like that?
We messed around with some multiplayer stuff in the office. There's nothing official just yet. We anticipate some fans will probably come up with good ways of doing it, maybe just attacking the person to your left or something along those lines. That's kind of what we were messing with. It's not really designed with that in mind, but there are ways to do it. We've done it a little bit in the office. I'm sure someone will refine it a little bit once it comes out, or we'll refine it once it comes out. We did some draft rules for our organized play kits. We will be launching with some organized play in mind as well, so we have organized play shipping to retailers when it happens, so like prizes and whatnot, and like a little bit of a tournament structure, but it's going to be kind of free and open for whatever the retailers want to run. So you can run, if your local group likes to run drafts, you can run drafts. We have some rules for that. If your group just wants to run with starter decks, you can just get starter decks and do that, or you can do it with just customized decks.
Now, I know it's a little bit of an off-the-beaten-path question. I know you might not be able to answer it. So assuming this gets popular, which it looks awesome, I assume it will, Eric Lang, Munchkin, I mean, what else do you possibly want? Do you have the licenses with all the other licenses that you have to merge those into possible CCG booster packs or something like that?
I actually don't know the legality on all our licenses. A lot of stuff, just to clarify for people watching, if you've seen some stuff like Munchkin Marvel, things like that, those are actually through USAopoly, so we don't have those for the CCG. We do have some in-house licenses, and for Munchkin fans coming up, I can't talk about it, but lots of really cool things coming their way in 2018 as far as licensing, and 2019 and the future. So we have some cool stuff on the way in that regard. I don't know what we have in ways of CCG though. Right now we're really focusing on the fantasy aspect though, and expanding that way. We feel there's a lot with just standard Munchkin, a lot of in-jokes that we can use, as well as collectible card game like spoofing that we can do. That has a lot of set potential. So the first 3 sets at least, probably not. We've already almost finished with the second set, Desolation of Blarg, and then we've got the third set, Fashion Furious, that we're working on next.
Alright, so there's the Munchkin CCG coming out next year. It looks very, very cool. I'm very stoked for this one. If you're enjoying that Gen Con coverage, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. You need to destroy a pyramid legally. We're going to pretend that you're a contractor or something. How do you destroy a pyramid?
I think you destroy it with another pyramid. I think that's the only way to destroy a pyramid, actually.
You just drop it on it?
Yeah, or use Looney Labs pyramids. I think one of those 2.
I think I would have to like take it. Dynamite, I guess? I don't know. That's a hard one. Let me know in the comments below. How do you destroy a pyramid? As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.